Imagine your country has all the ingredients to become an economic powerhouse: a young population, abundant natural resources, and one of the fastest-growing economies in Southeast Asia. But your growth has been stuck at around 5% for years. So you make a bold decision: spend more, build faster, invest bigger. That is exactly what Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto is trying to do. But while he believes this could transform Indonesia, international investors are beginning to ask a different question. Is this a bold vision or an expensive gamble? This week, S&P Global reaffirmed Indonesia's sovereign credit rating at BBB, with a stable outlook. In simple terms, S&P still believes Indonesia remains a safe country to invest in. It cited Indonesia's relatively low government debt, resilient economic growth, and commitment to keeping its budget deficit under control. That sounds reassuring, but here's why the story is more complicated. Earlier this year, Moody's and Fitch both adopted a more cautious view of Indonesia, reflecting growing concerns about the country's policy direction under President Prabowo. So why are opinions starting to diverge? To understand that, we first need to understand Prabowo himself. He believes Indonesia has been growing too slowly for too long. His ambition is to help Indonesia become a developed nation by 2045, the country's centennial year of independence. To achieve that, he argues, Indonesia cannot rely on gradual change. It needs bold investment. His government has launched one of the world's largest school nutrition programs, providing free nutritious meals to millions of children and pregnant women. Supporters see this as an investment in human capital. Healthier children today could mean a stronger workforce tomorrow. At the same time, Prabowo wants the government to play a larger role in the economy through strategic investments and state-backed institutions such as Danantara. His goal is also to move Indonesia beyond exporting raw materials by developing more domestic industries and creating higher-value jobs. In other words, Prabowo isn't simply trying to spend more. He's trying to accelerate Indonesia's economic transformation. The problem isn't the ambition. Many investors agree that Indonesia has enormous potential. The concern is whether the government can deliver these plans while maintaining fiscal discipline. Can spending remain sustainable? Will state investment decisions remain commercially sound? Will government policy stay predictable? These are the questions international investors are now asking. Credit rating agencies don't just assess today's economy. They assess whether they can still trust a government's financial management years into the future. That's why the difference between S&P and other rating agencies matters. S&P believes Indonesia's fiscal pressures remain manageable for now. Others are signaling that confidence could weaken if execution falls short. So this week's story isn't really about a credit rating. It's about two very different visions of Indonesia's future. Prabowo believes Indonesia must spend more today to become richer tomorrow. Investors believe that without careful discipline, today's spending could become tomorrow's problem. Who's right? No one knows yet. But one thing is certain. Over the next few years, Indonesia won't just be testing its economy. It will be testing whether one of Southeast Asia's boldest economic strategies can deliver on its promise without losing the confidence of the world.
Thank you for watching Pastcast, where the past echoes through today. If you enjoyed the satire, scrolls, and scandals, like, subscribe, and ring the bell before the next empire falls.